All right, my friends, welcome to yet another episode. This is Emin, your Cyber Career Transformer. And in this short video, I'll walk you through a simple process, a couple of quizzes to help you with whether A, cybersecurity career is a good option for you or not. We'll discover that. And B, if that is the case, what is the easiest and shortest way to do this? If you're worried about spending 2 to 4 years in a typical regular education, like going back to college or university, or if you don't want to cash out 10, 15, 20 grand and more and waste 6 months, 9 months of your time not knowing if you will see the finish line, also known as bootcamp programs, before doing any of that, before getting started, you will know that you can overcome obstacles and this is the right choice for you and your future is in the cybersecurity careers. Maybe you are already in the field and you want to grow. Maybe you are interested in getting started in a tech field, tech career. Maybe you don't have any technical background at all. Or maybe you already have that and want to grow your career in cyber. Whatever your situation is, after we go through this video, you will know exactly whether this is the right choice for you or not. So let's dive in, let's get started. Cybersecurity Career Launcher. This is the first website you need to visit if you're interested in, or maybe you want to understand whether this is the right choice for you or not. Because as I will walk you through this with this test in just a second, you will understand whether you have enough motivation to take massive action. Because here's the thing, what I realized after working with hundreds of people from various backgrounds in various different locations around the world is professionals must have a strong reason why and why today if they're interested in a career upgrade. I'm not talking about, let's just say you've been working as a SOC analyst in the past 5 years and you want to find a very similar job. You don't need any training, any bootcamp, any degree for that. All you got to do is just start applying and eventually you will get the role, right? You will get a role. But the question becomes whether you'll be happy in that role or not. Or maybe you want to grow your career, you want to start making more money, right? And how do you do that? If you don't know how to do this, you will stick to what is known as familiar with you, with your own experiences, with your own background. And if you are interested in a career upgrade, let's just say you are just getting started and you want to join the tech industry because it pays well, you can work from home, remotely, anywhere in the world, the lifestyle, the contribution, everything is great. Or maybe you've been working as an IT system help desk for many years and now you want to become a penetration tester maybe, or a cybersecurity architect, or GRC professional, cybersecurity analyst, you name it. In those cases, what you need the most is you need to have a very solid, very strong reason why. And in this test, you will understand exactly that. So why don't we dive in and take a look at this together, okay? So very quick, 5-minute test we put together for you. I'll drop the link below, but if you want to get started right now, head over to cybertransform.com, Cybersecurity Career Launcher, okay, with dashes in between. So let's get started, let's dive in. Obviously, starting with the name, surname. If you want to receive notifications, if you want to get the detailed report, make sure to enter at least your email address. If you wish, you can also enter your phone number. And let's dive in. Starting with the first one, how do you feel at the end of a typical workday? I'm looking forward to going back to work tomorrow. Tired, but nothing a good night's sleep won't fix, or exhausted mentally or physically. So you pick whatever best suited for you. And here's why. As you will go through, the system will give you points based on your answers. And if your reasons are not strong enough, you know what happens? You will score accordingly, meaning low scores. And low scores, okay, that means you are not motivated enough to make a change. And if you are not motivated enough to make a change, just because you're interested or just because you want to make more money will not give you enough reasons to take action. Okay, many times people don't get this right. And they think, oh, okay, all I got to do is let me just get some, certifications, Security Plus, CSSP, OSCP, and then I'll start applying for jobs. And then recruiters, hiring managers will get back to me and I'll get the role. End of story, right? They lived happily ever after that. It just doesn't work that way. Because if you want to make a significant change in your life, and it doesn't matter that it's a career change, life change, relationships, health, wealth, well-being, whatever that is, you need to go through unknowns. And dealing with unknowns, okay, it's not easy. You need to overcome obstacles. People will not immediately understand the value. You will get rejected. And maybe you've been there and you've experienced that yourself, right? You started applying for jobs, you heard nothing back. And it's frustrating, isn't it? If you have enough motivation to overcome those frustrations, then you'll keep going, and then those are the ones who are successful at the end of the journey. But if you don't have enough reasons, you will immediately fall back. Hey, I'm good either way. Like, I already have a good career. I'm making enough money. So why bother? So that's why. Please take the test to see if you have enough reasons to make a change, right? So let's dive in. Let's continue. Tired, but nothing a good night's sleep won't fix. As you can see, this is like in the middle, meaning you are not motivated extremely to make a change, exhausted mentally or physically, or you're happy where you are. I'm looking forward to going back to work tomorrow. Just be honest. Just choose the right option for you. Don't try to feel like, oh my God, this is what I want to feel, so let me just feel it. Let me just click here. Because if you do so, you know what happens? The system will not be able to identify whether you're ready to make a change. And honestly, what is even worse is you'll be fooling yourself. Don't do that, right? Let's just click whatever. And then next one. Do you feel challenged in your job? If you're currently unemployed, think about your most recent job. Never, it's the same old routine every day. Why? Because we all want differences and we all want certainties in life. There are different 6 basic human needs, and you can take a look at Dr. Robbins' videos about this, but I'm not going to go into the details. That's not the topic of today. Just choose whatever the option works best for you. Does your job offer a work-life balance? What does that mean? That's the worst option, right? You're working maybe 70, 80 hours a week, and you don't want that. Next, how happy are you in your current position? I love what I do, and the team I work with, I have good days and bad days. I wish for inclement weather so I don't have to go to work. That's the worst answer, right? And then what percentage of your job responsibilities you do absolutely dread? Maybe more than 50%. That's the worst answer. How do you handle challenge? I thrive on it. I know there's a learning curve to try something new. I'm a creator of habit, not very well. Think about this. If you're thriving on it, that means it's something good, right? Which means you can deal with the change in this career upgrade process. I'll take a slight pay cut if it means I was happy and fulfilled at work. Absolutely not. Maybe if that was my dream job. Think about that. If you're making a career change, a significant upgrade, that doesn't mean you will immediately take a pay cut, right? But your perception is very important here. Why? Because if you're committed to making a change, then including the finances, you can think about this at least. Okay, you know what? If I absolutely like what I do, I will have amazing time, the contribution is there, then maybe money is not that important, because according to lots of different research and studies, money can only give you kind of like a momentary happiness. And then you will increase your life standards accordingly, and then the happiness will go away, because then you'll have to deal with the extra property investments you have, the mortgages, etc. And at the end of the month, you are still stressing about finances. Anyway, so just choose whatever the option works best for you and click next. I'm encouraged to be creative in my job and think outside the box. Never. That's the worst answer. Does your current job have a clear growth path? That's another big one. If you don't know where you will be in the next 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, or if you've already made up your mind to and you're ready to make a change, that's different. But think about this. No, I don't see anywhere for me to go. Yes, I know exactly where I want to be 1 year from now. Yes, but I'm sure how to make it happen. Let's just choose the best option here. On Sunday evenings, that's a big one, right? I feel a sense of dread. I don't want Monday to come. Like I need one more day to get things done, refreshed, recharged, and ready to start the week. Let's just say, like I need one more day. Continue. Great. Now that we know more about your career situation, let's move on and figure out the best course of action to upgrade your career towards cybersecurity. And now we have completed the first part. The system has calculated already your current level of motivation. Let's just put it that way. And in the second part, what you will go through is you will take a look at your background and your goals to really see what is the ideal roadmap. If you're worried about like reviewing the details, and if you don't know how to do this, if you need someone else's input, don't worry about that. I will drop a link below where we can go through and we will help you review your current situation. And then you will have absolute clarity whether this is the time for you to make a change or not. So if you need an expert's help, check out the link below. If you're happy to review the results yourself, feel free to do so. That's why we created this page, right? So which technical fields are you most interested in? Infrastructure, IT admin, network, or cybersecurity engineer? Defensive, cybersecurity defense analyst, SOC analyst, offensive, ethical hacking, penetration testing, governance, risk, audit, strategy, and policy, management, leadership, chief information security officer, maybe CEO types of roles, indirect roles, cybersecurity marketing, sales, project management. Don't know, I'm not sure. And that's another big one. I see sometimes people want to get started in cybersecurity there. All they heard in the news maybe is ethical hacking, penetration testing, and they think it is the only option for them, or maybe that is the right option for them. But in reality, penetration testers, they're just a small fraction of the entire ecosystem. I'm coming from penetration testing background. I literally spent 5-6 years, had advanced exploit development, penetration testing, certificates, training, experience, and all that. But I know penetration testers, okay, they are a small part. We need more defenders. We need more policy and managers and infrastructure admins. But if you don't know what is it that you want, just click, don't know, I'm not sure, click next. And this is the part, the second section is the part that you need someone's help. You need someone's support to really review your personal circumstances and the details. As a side note, we had a different training on my channel that the importance of personality analysis. This part complements that part. So if you haven't solved your personality analysis, if you don't know how to do that, etc., please check out the video. I will also drop the link below, and then you will know more about your ideal fields, ideal options in cyber based on your natural attitudes and aptitudes. So let's dive in, let's continue. What excites you about cybersecurity careers? I want to secure my career future. I want to feel special, important, or unique in my current role. I want to be challenged enough at work. I want to make more money and reach financial freedom. All of the above. Let's just go with this one. And then next, How soon would you like to start growing your career? Today, if possible, in the next couple of days, in the next 30 days, I'm not sure. I'm just thinking about this. This is another reason, and it complements the motivational angle, is why people never take action. They measure on the minor things. They're getting ready to get ready, but it's never enough. It's not good enough, because there will be a moment, okay, in this journey after you get the skills, training, everything, right? And then this is the time to start applying for jobs. And then you'll be worried whether you have enough skills, the background, what if they say you know, they tell you no, go away, etc. How to deal with those rejections, right? If you have a sense of urgency, if you want to start taking action as soon as possible, then you can also overcome those obstacles, so to speak. And then you'll find a way to go and proceed regardless. So that's why it's very important that you make this a priority. If not, you can, come back later because otherwise you will fail in the obstacles you'll face. How much time are you prepared to commit to career development each week? This is another part, and the difference between typical universities, graduate programs, college degrees, etc., and bootcamp programs, in a way, fail. For professionals who want to make a career transition, you shouldn't be spending more than 15-20 hours a week, okay? Maybe you are unemployed, you are ready to commit to this for the next few months, it's fine. But still, if you believe you can invest 30-40 hours a week in this career transition process, what happens is in the next few weeks, you will feel like burning out. Okay, you will feel very stressed. And dealing with this stress could be financial, or could be time-wise, you need to take care of your family, or maybe emotional challenges. This is another level of stress. So it will be very hard for you to deal with all those stresses. That being said though, if you're already struggling financially, okay, and you know you need to make a change, in that case, obviously you need to go through stretching your boundaries, stepping out of your comfort zone, so that in the future, in the next 3 months, 6 months, you will start enjoying yourself, enjoying your life better at a higher level of standards, because your problems, the core of the problems, will be fixed. At the same time though, if you are going through maybe a very unfortunate thing, divorce, if you are going through maybe a medical condition, or maybe your current job is like that requires 70-80 hours a week, how can you pay enough attention to the career transition? It just doesn't work that way. Okay, so there's a balance, and the balance that I have realized over many years is if you can commit to this journey between 15 to 20 hours a week, okay, in total, which means self-study and getting help from experts, one-on-one help, group coaching help, and also networking with your peers. This is the amount of time you should be spending, you should be investing in, kind of like a part-time job. Okay, so find the balance, choose the option, and let's click next. Let's continue. What do you feel is your biggest obstacle to grow your career in the IT and cybersecurity domain? Hands-on skills or experience. Many times people choose this option, but what I realized, this might not be true. Okay, maybe you don't have enough motivation and commitment. That's why we have this video right now. Or you believe you need more training or certifications, but what if you have lots of transferable skills you can apply immediately? What happens then, right? So many times the answer, the option you choose here is not the accurate one, but it's a start. At least you need to kind of start thinking about this. You need to verify this with an expert to really understand what is missing, because most people don't know what they don't know. Okay, that's the lowest level of awareness and wisdom. But most people live there. Otherwise, they would have fixed their problems, right? And the second level of wisdom and awareness is you know what you don't know. And to get to that level, you need to know specifically what is wrong, what is missing. And that alone is a wisdom by itself. And it's not that hard. It's just like showing up to a doctor's office and then you tell, okay, I have this, I have that. And doctor knows your body better than yourself. Think about that. Maybe all you need is you need to network more. Maybe all you need is, instead of throwing away all your background, you identify your transferable skills. And it's not just about technology. I have people and process skills as well. That's why I'm ready to do this. Okay, that's a whole different mindset than, hey, you know what? I need to have all the CompTIA trifecta, A plus, Network plus, Secret plus. I need to do this, get OSCP, and then maybe I need to study for CSSP as well. You put all those acronyms after your name, only to realize recruiters, hiring managers do not care because your background is very weak. You don't know how to network, and no one trusts you. Okay, and what we call it is the Cyber Transformer Triangle. Okay, I talked about this in a different video, but in a nutshell, there's just 3 questions you need to answer in this process. Do you want to do the job? And this entire thing is about that. Can you do the job at least at the basic level, which means do you have the core skills, core transferable skills to do the work? Because at the end of the day, you will realize when you start doing the actual work, there will be tons of things that you have no idea about. And it's fine. Look, I've been in the industry for like 2 decades now, and there are lots of things I have no idea about. It's fine. Okay, so that's why it is important to identify whether I know the current skill level that I have is enough or not. That's the second degree. And the third level is whether you are known in the industry. Whether hiring managers, recruiters, do they like you? Do they trust you? Do they respect you? Okay? And are you known to them? And this is kind of like the marketing and sales angle. But if no one knows you, no one trusts you, no one believes in you, and there is no need in the marketplace for that too, that goes hand in hand, then regardless of the skills you have, regardless of how you like them, you like to do all these things, it will never work, right? Something else. Let's just click this one. Let's continue. And 20, how interested would you be in dedicating your time, four-figure financial resources, and energy to invest in your professional development? This is another part. At first, it might look like a financial investment, but here's the thing. Without investing in yourself the right way, not just talking about the skill certifications. If you want to get a certification from, I don't know, SANS, it costs $7,000, $8,000, right? And if you want to get a proper degree or education from a university, it costs anywhere between 15, 20 grand all the way up to 60, 70 grand, okay? Meaning the entire industry pays really well. As you can check out the link, cybersecurity.org, okay? You can take a look at this and you will understand the career pathway. It pays really well, meaning because the domain pays well, everything in this industry is expensive. Not expensive in a way like crazy expensive, but still the investment you need to put towards should be in line with the goals that you seek. If you want to make 100, 200K, etc., and if you want to do this just by watching random kind of videos or going through books, probably it's not enough. Okay, I say probably because maybe you are extremely motivated and maybe you have a lot of time on your hands. Okay, you can complete this process with the right help and support as soon as 8 weeks, 12 weeks, etc. in the ballpark. But if you want to go through trials and errors and it takes 1 year, maybe 2 years, then there's the opportunity costs, and it comes down to even higher than four-figure resources, 5K, 10K, etc., to get the right type of help, the quality education, the support, mentorship, and all that. But still, where are you? Think about that. If you want to do things as cheaply as possible, that means you are paying the price with your time. That's an option. Okay, most people choose that option, but I don't think that's the most effective option if this is a priority for you. So, what do you think you need right now? That's another question, whether your awareness level, your current wisdom, whether you know that you need to do different things versus whether you don't know what you don't know. I need to learn the basics and fundamentals from scratch. I need to improve my hands-on skills with lab practices. I need a proper accredited training with hands-on skills and recognized certifications. I already have the education skills or certifications. I need guidance and mentoring to land the job that I want. All of the above. Or maybe you might feel like, oh my God, I wish I had two years of experience. Recruiters are asking for that, and I don't have that. That's my biggest obstacle. Whatever that is, think about that, and then click. And many times, again, the answer, the option that you choose is not the right one, okay? Many times you need something different. Otherwise, you would have fixed the problem already. You would have already landed your job already, right? Think about that. If you knew what you needed to do, then you just take action. If you know what you need to do, but you are not taking action for whatever reason, that means something is still missing. Maybe that's your strategy, the motivation, that hunger, but this test gives you everything, okay? So let's just click OK, and then click Next. And then another section, which is equally important. Where are you right now, right? Do you have any education? If you don't have it, that doesn't mean you cannot do this, but you need to follow different approaches. You need to follow different roadmaps. If you already have lots of degrees, sometimes, by the way, that's why I've dropped my PhD education. Maybe I'll get back to it at some point, but I'm not interested in these days. Is because you might be overqualified from the theoretical point of view, but you have no practical world experience. Then what happens? Or maybe your high school degree less, and that's a risk from employer's point of view. You need to mitigate that risk by presenting different things. Click Next. What best describes your recent work experience? Cybersecurity, information security related roles, software development, IT administration, civil, mechanical, electrical engineering, business administration, marketing, sales, or other. Okay. When we take a look at this roadmap from cybersecurity.org, you see 80% of the people, most people join the field with some form of technical background, including security intelligence, by the way, military, law enforcement, etc. But 20%, okay, of people who join the field, they're coming from totally different backgrounds, meaning they don't have years of experience in IT, but they're educators. Like I remember Ina, one of my friends, she's also one of our mentors right now, and she was my student many years back, and she was a biology teacher, and now she's a consultant with Deloitte. Extreme, amazing example, just like Tassim, just like Nandini, I remember Michael, David, and they all brought different experiences, including people and process, and they applied it towards their ideal cybersecurity job. And when you get this part right, that means you can easily overcome all those experience-related questions because you know how to transfer your background towards your ideal cybersecurity job. Does that make sense? You can also remember this with PPT. Okay, people, process, technology. Not just technology. Not because you know how to log into systems remotely, hack into computers. You know how to use Kali Linux. You have certification. It's not enough because you'll be working in a business context. You need to deal with people, difficult people sometimes. You need to follow rules and regulations. Those are the skills that you can also apply with your background. And at the same time, though, there's one caveat. If you're coming from sales development, business development background, and you want to join the cybersecurity field, many times the easiest way is to join the field as a cybersecurity business developer. Why? Because you keep most of the variables the same, and then you just change one thing, throw in the equation, which is like cybersecurity. And then in that case, you don't have to kind of learn all the bits and pieces of cybersecurity. You don't need that. You just need to know the basics, okay, the foundations, and then you start applying for jobs because you have tons of transferable skills. And I remember Daniel, one of my first clients, we helped him get started in cybersecurity, and he had many years of business development background. Instead of learning like CEH, getting those certifications, ethical hacking, and unfortunately some people told him to do stuff like that, it was irrelevant. Why? Because all he wanted was a high-paying job in the growing field of cybersecurity that he can easily do, transfer most of his skills so that he doesn't start from scratch. So this is how he was able to do that in a very short amount of time. You can do the same. But what if you are sick and tired of sales in that case and you want to get started, you want to start doing different things? Maybe some security analysis, you want to deal with computers. Okay. In that case, you need to follow a very different path. And in that case, maybe you need to accept a pay cut because you'll be starting from scratch within that specific category. Does that make sense? Do you see the difference here, my friends? Just drop your comments and questions below if you have any questions with that. So, what best describes your field of education? IT, computer science, software, civil, mechanical engineering, business administration, military, law enforcement. Maybe it's none of the above. Let's get it next. And then how would you describe your current employment status? Are you a student right now? If you're a student, do you have a work permit? I get that all the time. Do you have maybe a green card? Or how soon can you start working? Is it part-time, full-time? Lots of questions. Working full-time, looking for a job right now. Maybe you are in between jobs, part-time student, part-time employee, whatever. Just choose the option. Another question, how many years of professional experience you have? Professional experience. Because if you're coming from 10 years of professional experience, say business analyst, maybe project manager, you probably know, right? You should know how to set up meetings, how to communicate effectively, how to shake hands, how to identify problems, teamwork, individual work, timekeeping, you name it. Those are all valuable skills. But let's say in the previous 20 years, you had no white collar experience, as we call it, no corporate experience, no professional experience. Maybe you're a business owner, or maybe you worked in a coffee shop. There's nothing wrong with that. But you need to understand that this is a professional field. Beyond getting those technical skills and qualifications, you need to know how to communicate effectively, how to have the right soft skills and business skills. Let's choose 1 to 2 years. Any previous training or certifications? If you don't have any previous training or certifications, that's great. That means that's a clean slate. You can take the right action steps. You can complete the process much, much sooner. Why? Because you only focus on what you need today and remove everything else. In fact, after getting the job that you want to. CompTIA ITF, A+, Microsoft, kind of like getting ready to IT level. CompTIA Network Plus, Cisco, CCNA, similar, networking related. Security Plus, CH, GSEC or similar. Basic cybersecurity analysis and maybe penetration testing. And OSCP, CSS, PCS and more advanced and more complicated trainings, whatever that is. Maybe you studied very hard and you cleared those certifications, but guess what? You don't have enough practical experience. No one knows you in the field, and that's a big problem. And what kind of skills you have right now? Maybe you don't have the certifications, but what kind of skills you have right now? IT administration, programming skills, governance, risk compliance, other technical computer security skills, maybe, or none of the above. Let's continue. And you see, on top, 80%. What that means is that you need to do this. Okay, if that's 80% more than 70%, that means you have provided enough reasons to make a change. There isn't like, zero or white distinction here, but it is like a spectrum. If you score relatively higher, that means you have enough reasons to make a change, combined with the answers that you see here. If you score relatively low, maybe you need to stick to your guns. Maybe you need to continue doing what you're doing right now because you simply don't have enough motivation. Or you can test the waters with very simple trainings, very cheap trainings or books, just to kind of learn more. And you can maybe continue watching the videos that I have on the channel or maybe other YouTube channels to kind of see if this is the right match for you. Okay, that's step number 1. And step number 2, all the remaining questions, okay, that you picked, that you chose on this quiz, that you will receive notifications, by the way, when you take the exam to your email inbox, is it gives you an idea of your roadmap, that you can think about this, you can contemplate, and then say, okay, this is the part that I'm missing, because I already have the skill. It's kind of like looking in the mirror, and you notice, hey, you know what, I already have something to offer. I can start helping a very small business maybe, and then maybe work as a consultant, freelancer, it doesn't matter. And then I can help them maybe remove vulnerable plugins from their WordPress websites. 1/3 of the entire world websites are running on WordPress. So if you know how to remove malicious plugins, which is extremely easy to learn, by the way. In just a few hours, you can learn it. And then you can start providing value, and you can start even charging money and making money out of that. And that is providing value. Instead of looking inwards, you start looking outwards. But if you don't have those skills, or if you don't know your ideal fit, if you don't know how to do this, then obviously you need to get some form of expert mentorship and guidance, okay? Just take a look at your contact list. Take a look at your LinkedIn profile. See who do you know, and then reach out to them. Ask, for some help. You can even provide the results that you have here, and then ask for their input. And that will help you. If you don't have that kind of network, if you don't have that kind of mentorship, you can also reach out to me, reach out to our team, and also we will review your results if you want to, and see how can you do this. And we can tell you, okay, you need to go study for university, you need to go get another degree. In fact, maybe you should stop doing all of this and then start doing something else. Very honest feedback. And if you need more help, and support and mentorship, we can also talk about how we can work together. But it's a selective only program that we have, Cyber Transformer Career Mastery, invitation only program, meaning many times we reject people because we know we cannot help them, and that's why we just tell them go do something else. Okay, so this is how you can do this. And one part of the equation about this test is we talked about what kind of skills you have, right? What kind of skills, technical skills. We also have another assessment for you that we prepared that you can reach out to here, okay? And I'll drop the link. There's a different link for this to make it easy for you. This is like the basics of IT, you will go through the basics of IT understanding, and this will also tell you whether you need to start from A or B, whether you need to get started, and you can get started right now, or maybe later. You need to complete these parts first, etc. So that being said, these two links, assessments and career launch, this test will help you a ton. And this way you can save time, you can save energy, you can save money. Before getting started, you can test the waters, okay? So let me know if you have any questions at all. You can send me an email. You can also book a call with us to review your results. We do that absolutely for free. So you can also do that, and just let us know, okay, if you have any questions at all. So this is how to get started, and whether you have enough motivation to get started in an ideal cybersecurity job that you love, not a random job. Because eventually, if you spam your resume hundreds of times, if you randomly apply for jobs, eventually you'll get something. But is that what you want? Or do you want more control out of your career? Do you want to enjoy your life at the highest level with finances, 6 figures and beyond, lifestyle contribution? Then you need to follow a strategy, and this is like the starting point of the strategy. Does that make sense, my friends? Just let me know if you have any questions at all. And once again, this is Emin Kaliskan, your Cyber Career Transformer, signing off. I will see you in the next episode.